Hi folks, Paul McFadden here. So today we're going to talk about how to get things done. Now, this one here is incredibly important. Not everyone has the luxury to start off full-time in property. At our property protege events, I would say less than 10% have got that luxury where they can actually start off in property full-time. Most of the people, over 90%, they've got full-time jobs, they've got their own business, and that's where their time and focus has got to be. And they may only have, at most 10 hours a week to focus on the property journey. And I always say that it's not how many hours you put in, it's what you put into the hours. But where do you focus? What do you focus on? This is the challenge. And if your goal is to be full-time in property, if that's what you want to do, then focus is going to be it's going to be the number one thing that's going to help you do that, especially in a short period of time. So what I get people to focus on short term, if their goal is to be full-time in property, is in cash flow strategies. Now, the best cash flow strategy you should be focusing on to help you do that in a short period of time is property trading. Now, property trading is where you go out and source a property, you package it up, you structure the deal where you're making money front end, back end money throughout the deal, where the average student of ours makes about £7,500 a deal. So when you're making that kind of money, now sure, do we have people that sell deals for a couple of £1,000s? Yeah, of course. Do we have people that sell deals for £5,000? Yeah, sure. Can people do it in the first week of coming along in Protege? Yes, people have done it. We've got Jay Turner, who is attending Property Protege right now for his second time, and Jay's doing awesome. Sure, he's got a little bit of background in property, and he's doing great things with his business and where he's going and where he's taking that. And in his first week, he made a deal, which he shared with the group yesterday, and his first week through trading, they made him £6,000. And he's not the only one, there's many stories like that. Now, this is where we look at it and go, okay, well, what do we need to be coming in month after month to allow us to go full-time in property? And for most people, the average, when I asked the students, what would be that magic number if it was coming in month after month, it'd help you go full-time in property, give you the make you feel comfortable, give you the confidence to go full-time, that number tends to be around about the £2,500. For some people listening, it might be more, others might be a lot less. For me, when I got started full-time in property, before I took the jump, I just needed £1,500 a month. That was because I was in my early 20s. Sure, I still had a mortgage, so I bought my first property, but my overheads weren't that big at that time. So, and I know people who are a lot less. That's how crazy it is. And I see this, and again, when I say this, a lot of people will probably want to punch me in the face, I get it. But making £5,000 to £10,000 a month in property is incredibly easy. It's insultingly easy. And is that even a word? I'm sure it's a word. It's insulting how easy it is to make £10,000 a month. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, well, Paul, yeah, sure, it's because you've done it. How can you say that? You don't know my situation. Of course, I don't know your situation. Of course, I'm listening. You're probably sitting there thinking it's too good to be true or whatever. I get it. But I think it's due to being able to do that consistently for many years, well over and above, and helping many other students do the same. There's where the confidence comes for me to be able to say that. And what will help you do that in a short period of time, and to make it predictable, and to see that money coming in month after month, is focusing on the right things, which we're just about to talk about. Because here's the biggest challenge, what I find. Sure, we can learn different investment strategies. Sure, we can learn how to raise finance. Sure, we can learn, how to structure deals, how to do due diligence, how to find the deals, all of this stuff. But if we are going and focusing on all the wrong things, if we're going and self-sabotaging, because that's truly what it is, we self-sabotage by focusing on things that just don't matter at all, just filling up our time, just being busy, then we're not truly making the most of our time. And that's why you're not getting the results that you would hope for. So we'll talk about this in a moment. So let's get back to a couple of £1,000 you need to come in month after month. Gave an example of our average students making £7,500. Now, if that's the case, you only need to source one deal per quarter. One deal that makes £7,500. Well, if you look at that's 3 months of your target that you need to come in to help you become comfortable to go full-time in property. So let's say that you've only got 10 hours a week to put into your property journey. Then we need to focus on the right things, and we'll talk about those. But the key to make this a success is that every Sunday evening you plan your week ahead. And why Sunday evening? Because it's the start of the week, so we want to plan to win. That's the biggest challenge. People are so lazy when it comes to their planning. And they wonder why they're just going through the week, floating through the week, taking whatever comes their way, accepting whatever happens, bouncing off walls. Before you know it, it's Wednesday. Before you know it, it's Friday. Before you know it, it's the next week. And they've never got much done. And that is the problem. That is the challenge. So we need to make sure that if we've only got 10 hours, 5 hours, 20 hours, whatever it may be, that we are planning to make the most of those hours. And then what happens is that the following week on a Sunday, not only do we plan for the next week, we do a reviewing session on the previous week. Okay, so was I efficient with my 10 hours? Where did I waste time? Could I have clustered my viewings together so I wasn't wasting time driving around all the time and, just wasting time there? Could I, do a bit better in my financial presentations? Could I, make sure that I was outsourcing some things? Could I do my research, my due diligence, and my golden area research? Could I have clustered that together as well? Could I have been listening to podcasts and all that stuff, and while I was on the way to work, or when I was travelling to viewings, rather than using those 10 hours to listen to podcasts? Because listening to education, all that stuff is important, but it shouldn't be put in your 10 hours that you've got to work. Those 10 hours have got to be focused work on daily activity that's going to help you move towards achieving your goals. Now, sure, at our Property Protege events, we spend the last day, today is day 2. Now, depending when you listen to this may be going out when the Protege event is actually finished. But today, I'm going into town for our second day of Property Protege, and in day 4, we spend a really good amount of time, a few hours, battle planning and mastering and detailing everyone's individual plan, so battle planning for the next 90 days, and we break that right down into monthly, weekly and daily activity that needs to be done, so people are very clear in their execution what they need to do. But they still need to do the reviewing week after week to make sure, are they ahead of the game? If so, great, let's push harder. If they're not and they're behind, what do we need to do to change that? Because if they're falling behind, we need to correct that. We need to make sure that we make up for it the following week. Because if we don't do that, what's going to end up happening is we just fall behind and we don't end up achieving our goals. And that's a problem. We can't allow that to happen. We need to make sure that we're on track. And this is the problem. I've already put, this is a Tony Robbins quote. Most people, overestimate what they can achieve in a year and underestimate what they can achieve over 10 years. So what I like to do is look at 12 months goals that you want to achieve, and let's break those 12 months goals down into 90 days, which is 12 weeks. So you're compressing a whole year of goals into 12 weeks. It's a great book that you should maybe go and read called The 12-Week Year, and they've got, there's a lot of great tips in there about compressing time, compressing a year's goals and targets into basically 12 weeks. And that will force you to do more, push yourself, it'll force you to grow, you'll learn a lot more, it will truly expand your comfort zone and expand your thinking and expand what you believe could even be possible to achieve. So this is why, if you compress time, 90 days isn't a long time, and you work hard. And remember, I'm not talking about working crazy hours. You might only have 10 hours, but imagine you can compress the time of what you need to do to achieve your 12 months goals into 12 weeks. Imagine you go all out and push and do that. Imagine that's what you did. then when it comes to 12 weeks, what if you fall short? What if you fall short and you don't hit your year-long goals and targets, but you end up doing what you would have done in 6 months? That's the thing. You've got so much potential that you don't even know what your potential is just now. You don't even know how to fulfill it. And the only way that I truly know how to really stretch people's comfort zones, to really help them grow, to really help them take things to the next level, to really help them see what they're truly capable of, is if they really push themselves to do more, to cram in more time, to be more efficient. So here's the key here to make all this work, how to get things done, is that every single day, even though you've planned your week, even though you're going to review your week and make your time more efficient, to realise what you could be doing more of, what you could be doing less of, what was working, what wasn't working, where do you need to learn, where do you need to grow, doing an honest review on yourself week on week. What will truly help you be successful is every single morning that you wake up, you focus on what's the one thing, what's the most important thing that you need to do today. What is the most important, and then go and execute that one thing. Now sure, there's other stuff that needs to be done. There's loads of other stuff that needs to be done, but forget about all of that until you have executed your one thing. Now that one thing is not admin, that one thing is not preparing your day, and it's not, fixing things and, reviewing your goal area research. That's stuff that needs to be done. Contacting people to set up meetings, planning which networking events you're going to go to, approaching estate agents, all that stuff needs to be done. But what is the most important one thing? Now, if we've already established and identified that we want to be full-time in property and we want to focus on property trading to do that, then that one thing that you need to do today has got to be some form of action that is taking you towards doing a package deal. And that could be simply going out and finding preferred investors, because you need to have preferred investors lined up to sell your deals onto. That one thing may be focusing on raising finance, because again, you want to be able to do some deals yourself. And if you've got your own funds, great, but why not use other people's funds? We teach this and teach you how to raise unlimited amounts of funding and finance, so you'll never have a finance problem. That one thing for the day could be, basically fine-tuning your marketing. So you're fine-tuning your marketing, got all of that in place, because your marketing is going to help you find those deals. So you might need to test and measure and look at, okay, what's the one thing I can do today to make sure I've got some market materials out there. So you need to be doing things that's going to help you get that one deal that's going to make you an average of £7,500, because you know that that's going to give you 3 months of earnings. And once that money's banked, once you do that deal and it's banked, then guess what? You could go full-time in property, and a lot quicker than you thought, in a very short period of time. And now you don't have 10 hours a week. Now you have 40 hours. You don't have 40 hours. It's your own business. You're going to be passionate about this. You're going to be excited about this. You're going to be fired up about this. You've done one deal in a couple of months of getting started and knowing how to do it. And then you're now doing what you were doing in literally 10 hours a week. You're literally putting in 40 hours a month. Now you're doing that in a week. Some of you might go out there and really push and do 80 hours a week, which is 2 months before 2 months of work you're now doing in 1 week, because you're so fired up and excited about it and you've had a taste for the money. So you honestly think that you are going to spend 80 hours in a week focusing on the right things, of course, that you're not going to do a deal? Of course you are. You're going to get things moving. You're going to get things happening. You've already had a couple of months of fine-tuning stuff and learning and developing yourself and growing. This is what's truly exciting, when you actually plan your week, you review your week, you execute your one important thing for the day, and then get on to everything else. Because truthfully, see all the other stuff, it just doesn't matter. It's just noise. Forget about it all. Forget about all the noise. Getting caught up in the daily rubbish, the daily noise. All that stuff needs to get taken care of, but what's the most important thing you need to focus on first? So start thinking that way. So if you've enjoyed today's podcast, you've enjoyed today's show, and you're watching on video, then great. Share with other folk. And if you're generous and feeling generous, leave us a review. And if you're looking to get your start in property, or you're looking to take your business to the next level, then go to propertyprotege.com, watch the video there, then hit the application button. We'll have a call, we'll make sure it's the right fit for you, make sure that you really want to take things to the next level, and then we'll open up an invitation to join us on our Protege program. And if we're not connected on social media, go to followpaulmcfadden.com, connect on the social media platforms that work there as well. And yes, I look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow. Bye for now.